your current clients saying, and what are some of your newbie clients maybe coming to the table with?
So there's seasons, right? I mean, this season was overdue. We were heading into a recession for over a year and a half. And the fact that we finally came to a point where we have this change in economic seasons, the manner in which we did it was abrupt. It was a surprise and it was unexpected. But the actual change itself was kind of a long time coming. So I would say that it's not so much of a, buyer beware or seller beware, or this is we need to rebirth an optimism, because I think the optimism has been there. The Denver market is wildly cocooned, right? We're protected. It's an odd place to live where it's the top three of everything. It's the top three to go to school, to retire, to go to work, to enjoy the outdoors.
We get the whole life cycle, don't we?
The whole thing. And so when you have a place that everybody wants to live, and you have this kind of net population gain, and you have these high-tech companies coming in, and we're not just an oil and gas town like we were decades ago. So now we're so diversified that we really had a really strong real estate market coming into this. We'll have a strong real estate market through it, and we'll have a strong real estate market after. What that looks like is in moderation, right? So the May DMARS Market Trends Report just came out, which covers 11 counties of our major Denver area. And it showed, it was like red everywhere. It was like somebody took a red marker to the whole report. But it wasn't scary red. It was like realistic red. Like, okay, we expected closed homes to be down, sales to be down. We expected the numbers that were down to be down, because you can't have stopped abruptly doing business in the middle of March and not have it impact every single number in April. A couple of the numbers that were a really good sign was active inventory was up substantially compared to what was expected. And then days in the MLS, or the old days on market, was down. So what was happening? How did
that even compare to last year, Nicole? Like in the February, March report?
So we went from 6 days in the MLS last month to 5, and then last year was 9. So we have gone down both compared to last month and last year. And those numbers tell me that, yes, the whole market, buyers and sellers, went down, right? Because people were trapped in their homes. But because we had buys and sells, because we had activity, none of those numbers dropped to 0. It means that people found ways. They did virtual showings. They went under contract before they even saw the home. Buyers still were moving. They had sold. They sold in March. They had to find a home, or they were mid-transaction. So what we've been telling our buyers and sellers is to adjust your expectation, but know that we have more inventory, so we have more choices. Buyers are coming out because those buyers, mortgage purchase applications were up 11%, right? And the days in the MLS were down. So the buyers that did come out to play bought, right? The buyers that they didn't just come out to look, they came out to play and buy. So they did. They were finding them, putting them under contract, and going through the process. So if you're a buyer, now's a good time to get in, because all buyers and sellers are down. Active inventory is up, which means you have more choices. The buyers haven't fully enveloped the market yet, at least the looky-loos. So that means there's going to be less number of competitive bids per house. Interest rates are low. Some buyers and sellers can't, right? Because unemployment is 16%, and businesses are still coming back online. And some people have lost health or lives, or whatever that looks like. But the people that can take advantage of the market are going to have an opportunity to see that growth and the continued appreciation with the low interest rates. So it's easy to stay optimistic if you look for the reasons.
Yeah, from an optimism standpoint, and maybe really kind of touching on that technology part, the virtual showing part you just mentioned a second ago, that's a big piece that, my personal opinion, I felt like the real estate industry as a whole needed to have a little bit of an injection and needed a little bit of a change. How do you see that this market has adapted a little bit in terms of technology enhancement that maybe we were required to go through this, through this pandemic?
I could not agree more, right? I mean, because you had this massive technology that was seen as the disruption of the iBuyers and the online real estate companies and lenders, for that matter, kind of pushing us around a little bit and trying to get us to grow up. And I say that lightly, but so interestingly enough, with what has happened with COVID, they retreated for a moment. Yeah. Technology is moving forward, but they had to regroup and reassess. And I think we did too, us as lenders and you as real estate agents, as supporting our clients. We had to rethink how we do business because the spreadsheets and the unlocking doors and the paper that you want, you know, and getting everybody in the car, and it was all great and it worked for decades. But now people want faster results. They want a vast access of information. They want to be able to see homes before they actually get in a car and spend 2 hours. And everybody's strained. Your time is strained, your resources are strained. So I think the technology was given the boost that it needed, and it will continue to blossom into virtual reality, into online listings and showing presentations, online buyer experiences, online lender. The remote mobile notaries are now happening in our world, and the access to bank information and work information is getting higher and more depth in technology. So we're all trying to get a more seamless, quicker process for our clients.
I feel like the buyer in 2020 comes to the table or comes to their phone or the web with more information than they ever have in their entire life. And in some cases, they might know more about a very specific area than even some of the local professionals might. But it's obviously our job to kind of take that big filter and bring it right down. And I feel like hopefully if we're mirroring that to what the customer wants and we're putting it into both my real estate practices and your lender practices, hopefully that's a great step forward as we continue to get so much disruption in the industry.
Right. Agreed.